Well, how's it going, Kingsmen? Welcome back to another NTW3 battle. This fight I am actually particularly excited about. It's a nice open field, very classic. I think it's on France 2. It's a very classic matchup. Both armies start in the same deployment zone. France has the entire range of starting all along here. They all deployed right in this area with the Rhine being on the right side. And they're going up against the Austrian armies. Now, the person who sent this in to me, I believe it was Emperor, playing the France Flanders. Yeah, he, no, wait, hold on, is this guy? Yeah, anyway, he said it's quantity versus quality, and I looked at the unit size of the army sizes, and it is absolutely correct. The coalition have a massive number of troops that they are bringing on the field versus the French. So I'm excited to see how this is going to work out. We saw yesterday's replay. It was kind of France really was hitting the coalition well, but they got ground down to a halt because they spent too many men destroying some very large coalition armies. So today we're going to see if this works out against them or if they can succeed. I think very excited to see a lot of cuirassiers being brought. That's going to really help. They kind of have to bring them against massive coalition armies like these Austrian, although actually, is this HRE? I may have just caused so much of an uproar in my viewer section here of like, this idiot's calling it Austrian, it's HRE. It may be the HRE actually. The more I'm looking at this, I wasn't paying attention. My lack of playing this game and watching a bunch of replays recently may be telling right now. But anyway, let us go over the comps. I only have the French armies, so apologies for that. But on the French side, you have a 9-point France Flanders times 3. So there's 3 9-point France Flanders and then 1 9-point France Rhine. I believe the Rhine is the one way over here. This has the army with no shoes, as you can see here. So very much, I think, the very, very beginning of the French rise after the Revolution, when they were first fighting and they were just conscripting all the plebs, all the citizens, trying to defend their new republic that they had just spent so much blood on. At least if I'm not mistaken, that is that army. So very large, but not the greatest quality, but the morale was probably high, realistically. They were all dying to save their new French government from the monarchies that were around them that hated them. But the other armies varying in size, pretty much, one France Flanders army is 1,200, one's 17, and one's 2,000. So they vary in sizes. I'm assuming the smaller army probably has the more cuirassiers and carabiniers. Like I said, they have the heavy cav guys. They are bringing it, and I hope to see some excellent use of it. It's been a while since I've seen heavy cav deployed in mass like this. Oh, look at them coming out of the trees. Just absolute beauty. Beauty to see. Now, the French went for a concentration a little bit here, as you can see. Staying on the left side, using this road. I mean, it looks like they're actually splitting off. Ryan's splitting off a little bit to face off. Over here. Skirmishers already shooting. Lots of coalition cavalry. A lot of it. Of course, there's a lot of French cavalry as well. I believe a lot of... there's some lancers, some hussars. I would believe there are also some chasseurs cheval a little bit in here, but trying to scare the coalition back a little bit. And here we go, the HRE showing their face, and this is definitely HRE. So I apologize for calling them Austria at the very beginning. I am sorry. If you haven't discovered this already, I'm a little bit retarded sometimes. Maybe that's not the right word, but I'm a little stupid sometimes, a little ignorant. Maybe that's a better word to say. I'm a little ignorant when it comes to some things. I just you know, it's broken and needs fixing maybe. I just don't have the time to familiarize myself more than I already am. So you're stuck with me. You are absolutely stuck with me. And I am trying to pump up more videos again, guys. So I hope this continues. I'm trying to plan my days better with how busy they get. But back to the battle. We have some horse artillery setting up. The French do have this first LOC seized. Some trilliers, cavalry, some dragoons, some skirmishers set up around. The rest of the Rhine's infantry are pushing forward here. If I'm not mistaken, they are not very fast moving. They're L3s. Oh, there's some, yeah, mostly L3s versus L4s and L5s of the Flanders armies. But they're still moving forward in a grand fashion. Artillery already shooting at them. I love these. This feels so much like the old battles that I used to record, guys. The old battles were these beautiful pub games where it was just the, not even courses. I'm not saying I don't like cores. I love core battles. So long as, you know, everybody seems to know what they're doing, because fighting with cores is a little different than fighting with custom armies. But I love custom army battles. They're just, there's something special. They have a special place in like nostalgia for me of when I first started recording, and this is mostly what I was doing. This kind of brings it all back. It's been a couple years. I think I started recording in 2020, which doesn't sound right, but it is correct because I remember during COVID starting my YouTube channel. So that means 5 years. I've been going for 5 years, which is crazy. I never thought I would get as big as of a channel and a viewer base as I do have, even though it has kind of fluctuated based on how busy I've been. Probably if I've been more consistent, I probably would maybe have a little bit more viewership, but I don't care. I appreciate everybody that does view and is subscribed, and I wouldn't change it. I'm not ungrateful at all, and I'm happy and content where things are, you know. I have a fun hobby, I have a beautiful family and an awesome job, and I wouldn't trade any of them or sacrifice any of them for the others, you know. I mean, I probably sacrifice my job for my channel because, you know, that's how I provide for my family, in all fairness. But all right, what's happening here, France? What? Oh, no way. Are they baiting the line into shooting? What are they doing? Are they... What are... They're taunting. This horse artillery is taunting. What are they? I don't understand. Oh, they're baiting them, aren't they? They're trying to use this little horse artillery to bait the enemy. That's hilarious. All right, more HRE on the tree line. So we are starting to see more of these armies taking shape. And we have potentially a defensive fight on the French right flank. They are ranged along this entire right side. There is an army here and an army over here, I believe. Yep, right here. There's one more in the back and then one on the left. All right, let's zoom out and see where the French armies are. So, Rhine on their own. All the Flanders armies, if I'm not mistaken. All the Flanders armies are on the left. So maybe they're going to try to sweep and tell the Rhine to hold. The real... No, never mind. One is moving. Yeah, so we have... Why is this Flanders going this... They're closer. Why is this one moving? Interesting. But you know what? I think the real question is, can the Rhine hold long enough? I mean, they have... Who's in the LOC? That is the question. Some Trilliers. We have the HRE probably not wanting to melee, but they're going to stand and shoot. They can do that for quite some time. There will be nothing wrong with them standing and just firing. But we have our regular line fight. The Rhine France may actually be the best one to stand in a line fight for now. Musket bug not being that big of a thing right now. And the HRE are not going to get super aggressive, I don't think, with their infantry. They're just going to want to stand and shoot And we have the regular line fight. This is going to be an awesome, epic one. Ooh. All right, the Rhine is actually pulling back. I mean, there's a lot of reserves. Oh, man. There is a lot approaching the Rhine. They need heavy cav over here, which you can see it has shifted over. Just a little bit here. Like I said, I'm not seeing a lot of musket bug. That is very encouraging for a very nice, even fight. Both sides are firing very quickly. There's not a delay. I love it. This will be a nice, even fight. Dragoons inching up here. I don't know where they're planning on going here. The HRE, I would assume, is going to want to start pushing up the side. This artillery is going to be very helpful in buckling down this right flank. LLC being fought for now. Alright, we'll see. Alright, we're back, guys. It crashed. First time in a very long time. We had a crash. We have a cav charge going in. Right for the artillery. I think we left off at the house right over here being assaulted. Nice snipe of the artillery. That cavalry is going to break. Chasseur Cheval still got a crucial artillery piece from the front lines, which would have made it a bit more of a difficult defense for the Rhine. Now we do have cavalry pushing around the flanks here. Have some HRE cavalry facing off against them. Some of this horse artillery is back. Curious what they're going to be doing. LLC is still a fight. I don't see this actually. Well, France. We'll see. We'll see. We have some dragoons going to go in for a charge here. No square of the form. They're going to counter that, looking for some flanking volleys here against these dragoons. France really needs to / wants to hold this LOC, as this is going to be the pivotal role in their defense. If they lose this house, their lines are going to have nothing to pivot and defend on. As we all know, LOCs hold a lot of firepower on the flanks. I'm imagining they're going to send another troop in to reinforce LOC as needed. The dragoons. Oh, I see a lot of wavering in the morale of France. All right. They held it. The Trilliers are holding it. I believe the 109th break, but they were in the LOC as well, making sure nothing's happening over here. Still nothing. Raging fight. The HRE take a loss of 2 units so far. France sending in yet another line of infantry to back up those Trilliers who are shooting. Only 20 of them left. And they a little bit more disengage. I think they're realizing, excuse me, they may not actually be able to hold this house. So maybe they're going to stay back from it and try to use it to slow the HRE advance so they can reform their lines here. Skirmishers, artillery still very much in the game. They want to keep this 4-gun 8-pounder in play for as long as is humanly possible. Skirmishers, infantry behind them. A nice flanking charge from the HRE they need to take this house fast. In fact, I think they're going to try to ignore it as they push forward here. Over on this side, look at this cheeky little horse artillery, man. Like, they are just using it as a troll. Not even a troll, but like totally, absolutely discombobulate the enemy. Like, what's this cheeky little artillery piece doing? All right, we have horses, cuirassiers going for a skirm unit. Oh, that's gonna cave deep into that skirmisher unit. Cavalry gonna go back them up. HRE actually oh, another beautiful charge with some cuirassiers. This is what needs to happen over here. A square formed, some HRE cavalry getting pushed back. Looks like HRE is actually gonna push out here on the extreme right flank for the HRE. LOC almost lost. Infantry can be pushing forward. This artillery is shredding up this front line for the HRE, though. That's going to be a very tough one. They're probably going to need to get some cavalry and break it if at all possible. But over here, more cavalry fighting this out. The retreating HRE cavalry get caught in a fresh charge. They lose the LOC. So Crossyears still in the fight, but here we go. Flanders is committing here. Cavalry guarding their right flank while they go straight in for this HRE army. This actually may slow this advance down, at least right here. Ease up a little bit of pressure. A nice bayonet charge into the HRE square. Fresh cavalry rushing forward from the coalition. Dragoons and, Chevaliers and some lancers and infantry. Look at this. So they're gonna have to worry about this flank. They have some infantry that's engaging part of it. They have some Crossyears ready to charge, and if they push too much, HRE are renownedly unable to form squares as it goes. It looks like we have a little charge here. Some Dragoons and maybe some infantry are gonna follow this up, slowing down this line as best they can. Canister even going in. The Dragoons are probably going to break, but they are absolutely stopping, halting this advance, breaking 2 units of the HRE line. Now HRE going to push up on Flanders' left flank. At the same time here, France has made a little bit of progress, not a lot, and like I was talking about earlier, I think even somebody made a comment, you can't be, you can push and push and push, but if you run out of men and there's a fresh coalition army waiting for you after you've been pushing so hard, you will lose, which is why France, they're being very cautious here. They could probably break this line, but at what cost? It would be a very high cost for taking on that line. I'm curious what France is going to do over here on the left flank. That is going to be a problem. They're firing, but look at the line difference here. Ooh, you actually see the guys dropping. Over here, HRE have been stalled out. This artillery is really actually going to wreak havoc on the HRE line. And cavalry still defending it. HRE going to send fresh troops along this line. They're going to pivot. Flanders has to make the attacks. The Rhine, France-Rhine, going to have to be the defense majority of this time. We are seeing a very large line here. Talk about quantity. France is actually caught out. They need to pull back this line. You never want to have a square or a jagged edge corner facing the enemy. Now, I do believe we have Carabiniers getting a nice charge off here. Infantry gonna follow it up, and there's a corner. A corner you can focus on, because the reason the corner is so bad is right here, guys. Nothing's shooting right here. They're shooting here, and they're shooting here. These 3 units are actually going to be not getting really shot at. They're going to get a nice volley fire, especially, it works out beautifully that way. France pulling back over here. That was a bad position for them, and they are going to pull back. I mean, they're actually getting pushed from 2 directions. Looks like some heavy cavalry from the HRE pushed up. Carabiniers actually following this up, surprisingly. Actually, they're gonna pull back. I think that would have been a bad move to keep pushing. You need to rest these guys. They're very tired. All right, so I'm seeing some gaps in the French lines just because of the sheer size of the HRE coalition armies. There is not enough to face the entire front here. The Rhine, all committed over here. The Rhine, sorry, I got Flanders and Rhine mixed up. The Rhine is the only one who has a larger army, and they are facing probably, I'd guess, 2 HRE, at least 1.5 HRE corps. The other 2 are going to be over here. Oh, do we have another cav charge? A heavy cav, guys. It's the trick. It is the ticket. This is going to be a costly advance. This is a very costly advance. Oh, very costly. And it breaks. It breaks his first unit, but another crosshair goes. Beautiful heavy cav push here. HRE actually in the retreat. We'll say actually France is going to get a charge off and break 1 unit. This is getting... HRE got to be very, very careful here. Even a cav pressure here. Some cuirassiers versus the HRE cavalry. And another heavy cav charge. They are catching multiple units here. Of course, okay, I gotta check back on how the Rhine is doing here. They are in the retreat. Did they lose their artillery? Oh, yeah, they did. I missed it. The Rhine actually may be the ones in danger here, but they can hold. They have not collapsed yet. The rest of the HRE converging here. This is where France is actually excelling for the time being. Now infantry and cavalry getting themselves into this. France has got to maximize the morale break without taking too many losses so they can turn and face this fresh HRE army and the ones that may actually break the Rhine at some point. Oh, I love heavy cav charges. Look at the impact that it has. If they can use mostly cavalry, then their infantry can still have a key role to play against the HRE. There we go. This line shatters. HRE morale in shambles on the right. A very, I think, very successful win here. Initially, they still have a lot more HRE to deal with. And over here, man, they're in full retreat. It's not a rout. It is just retreat. But they are definitely retreating. They're just trying to buy time. This is actually a very good play by the Rhine. They are going to buy time and distract. I'm assuming this is one HRE army. The rest of them are probably going to peel off here. What the HRE actually should probably do, this is my opinion, disengage here. This right flank is lost. Disengage a little bit and bide your time and either wait for the Rhine to get caught or start pulling back and let this crush the Rhine first and then united face the French. Now, maybe that's a bad strategy. That's just my opinion. That's what I'd maybe be thinking of. Maybe that can't happen. Maybe the HRE are too engaged here, and if they withdraw, they're going to get run down. That is also very possible. Oh my gosh. This is turning into a massacre. Look at this guy. Just slicing, hacking. The panic you probably would be feeling if you're an HRE soldier. These guys are not coming back. Absolutely not coming back. And this HRE force has cavalry on the flank here. The distance is staying about the same for both of these armies. What are these guys going to do? They going to try to help? Like, yeah, we can send 2 units. That's enough. That's enough to stop this several thousand man army. Alright, the trees make things a little more interesting. Cav charges will be slower. Units will be slower moving for both the French and the HRE. the bloodbath. I'm just looking, I'm like, oh, it's just an absolute bloodbath. This flank is obviously where the French need to keep pushing, try swinging around. HRE are going to do well for a little while. I mean, they'll probably slice. Yeah, look at this. These units are so small. 93 men. They just aren't going to make a dent in this HRE units. Alright, well, the HRE, I think, have realized, I mean, no, they can keep pushing. These guys are walking laterally. Keep pushing up. There's not that much cavalry facing you. That's what HRE needs, some cavalry to slow down the French so they can get this fight hopping still. French are disengaging here. I wonder what their play is. So they have not taken insanely high losses yet, but I imagine their units are tired. The cavalry probably needs resting. Yeah, it's active. Some of it's fresh now. Some of it's tired. These units, yeah, exhausted. I mean, they're running down some infantry, so they're definitely going to be exhausted. So France is going to have to, once again, barter for time. HRE, this is their chance to press the initiative that they have. And they need to press it while France is trying to rest. Before France can commit their heavy cav again, you need to try to push. Of course, that can backfire because if you are slow in pressing the attack and all of a sudden you will find yourself facing relatively fresh heavy cav again, that will wreak havoc on you again. Now, let's see how depleted they are. 100, oh, that's fresh. So they've taken like no losses. They've taken a little bit. This Chevalier definitely, or this Lancer definitely did. Yeah, these units definitely took some losses here. Some of these are still relatively replenished. You almost couldn't even tell that there is a fresh, or that there is a missing HRE army. That's what's crazy about this. The HRE needs some more troops right here. That's the problem. I mean, they have some. This is going to be a little more even of a fight for them. Alright, the French are pretty much back together. The HRE have a chance, especially right here, to drive a wedge. If they push here and push around here, they could encircle this Rhine, France. Maybe destroy them. Rhine can definitely get away, but if they don't see it coming, I think they're about as slow as the HRE. Here's the real push. These troops running? That's not a good choice to run your troops. It sucks, but you will make them tired very quickly. These troops are probably already tired just by the running, and it's probably going to break because of the morale. They're tired. They almost need to send cavalry in against this line. I mean, I would. Oh, there's a square there, you know, but send them in. Delay, protect your line of retreat. Now, maybe they need that cavalry to defend their lines against enemy cav. Either way, the French are not going to let them get away. This Flanders is going to just be pushing very aggressively now. They have light infantry in the front. And they're going to do what they must to keep HRE from resting up. It's a little hazy here, isn't it? Look at that. One long line. Very long line again. Ryan is still just buying time. That's all they have to do is buy time. Keep their army in the fight, but don't let your army get buckled down. I don't play the HRE very much, so I don't know what actually would be a good thing for them to do. Like, should they be advancing here? I feel like they should be. I feel like they should be trying to push this flank that France is pushing. Ease up some pressure, but maybe that's a bad idea. I mean, they are advancing. Hopefully they have troops right here that will hold. I'm assuming they have some right here. This is obviously a weak point in their line, and France is just poking at it constantly. See, if France is smart, they're going to turn and face this small four-man like contingent, the detachment. If the HRE is smart, they're going to push forward to defend that. Here we go, France getting close. Oh, there we go. See? Here we go. Another heavy cav charge. Square here. But still, here we go. France is going to charge in. Bayonet. Here they go. There we go. Giving them the cold steel. Any second now. Come on, France. Oh, the bayonet charge. Let's see if France can volley them in time. That was actually wise. The HRE, they have cavalry to back it up too. Shoot, I would charge this. You know, they have a square. Oh my goodness, look at this. France actually getting thrown back. They're gonna need some help here. This is actually a huge break for the HRE. This right flank now in danger. Maybe they'll have to peel some reserves off. For now, we'll say HRE is happy and content to keep it. Now we do have cavalry from France going in. A counter by the HRE cavalry. Gonna run down some crossieres, see if they make them break. A square gets formed. More heavy cav engaged over here. Ooh, they're exhausted. They may break the HRE, but will it be enough? Not a whole lot happening there. France getting thrown back. Well done by the HRE. They held off that attack quite well, and now they're actually pressing the attack in the center. Another heavy cav charge going in. Let's see some cavalry help. France needs that assist from the cavalry. I'm surprised other cavalry's on the left still. Over here, France actually partially successful. Partially, I'd say. But they are not decisively winning there. The Rhine, France falling back again. The Rhine seem to be... The Rhine seem to be actually holding their own for the time being. This is something that France needs to be winning decisively in order to compensate for the lack of men that they have. But here we go. This may be the kickstart to get this battle back on France's terms. Because I think while they're not losing right now, they're not decisively winning like they should. They should be decisively winning with this many enemies facing them still. My opinion, of course. Don't take it as gospel truth. But their units are smaller. And you can see the HRE been fighting for a while, but their units are very, very full for the most part still. Now, I think we're going to have a crucial fight for the LOC. I think France can take this. We have some Lancers going to go in for line infantry. Beautiful charge. Nice impact on the line. We do have cavalry going to try to break this up, but I think France will take it. France to LOC, and that will help them continue to push. Oh, what? Lancers broke. All right, well... I would hate to be the Rhine player. Man, this would suck. You would be on the retreat the entire... Look how far they've retreated. They are so far. Like, how many miles is this now? It's probably like 2 miles. They've had to walk backwards. I mean, maybe I'm not guesstimating right from the video game, but... that would suck. Oh, they took the LOC, and this is going to help them. All right, they needed this. They are really decisively winning anywhere else. They need to win over here. The heavy cav really helping to put a nail in the coffin on this flank. France sending in some infantry. Victoriously advancing here. And France now gets to swing and pivot. Here we go. France is turning and facing the attack from the HRE. I love how they're just using this artillery to bait the enemy. This is hilarious. Fresh troops actually peeled off and are coming to reinforce the side. Oh man, if those troops come over here just in the nick of time, they can reform this. HRE can reform this line. Look at actually how small the French army is size-wise. Now, of course, even over here, France, they are trying to make an attack here, but it is not super successful here. Nice heavy cav charge going in. Beautifully done. That actually will probably be super painful and actually could break a large portion of this HRE line. We have some HRE cavalry trying to save the line. More rushing forward here. These cuirassiers and lancers and infantry need to be very, very careful. They get flanked. We have Kellerman in the front lines trying to keep his troops in the fight. Here we go. Infantry and cavalry going in on the HRE line. Ooh. HRE gotta be careful here. They're firing in melee, which is not just frowned upon, but, you know, an exploit. They may not be paying attention. I haven't seen a lot of, you know, bad plays like that. Oh my gosh! Carabiniers went in and a huge upset. A nice flanking charge would seal this HRE line's fate. And I think they're going to finally throw back this pesky line that's been harassing them. This center line still, credit to the HRE, they are holding. Still holding. Reinforcements are showing up just in the nick of time to reinforce this line. The Rhine actually may be making a stand here. We shall see how that goes. These have been a series of smaller successes that still, I feel like the HRE could still win this. I really do. They could still win this battle. Another heavy cav charge. If the cavalry of the French gets spent too soon and doesn't take out enough infantry, I mean, we have a nice coordinated infantry and cavalry charge here. Gonna break 2 more units with probably some minimal losses. We have cavalry and the HRE gonna go in, slow things down. Let's see if they get a volley. The counter charge. Here we go. Yet another Lancer goes in on this front line. The general for the HRE in it. Probably gonna try to keep the morale up. But they're gonna have to fall back once again. If they can pull this line back with the reserves that have been pushed forward, maybe they can alright. Alright guys, we are back. It crashed again. My goodness. It took probably 30 minutes to fast forward to this point, so I really hope it doesn't break up again. I don't know if I can do this twice. I think we're just right here where the Lancers were running down the HRE, as well as some French infantry and cavalry still pressuring that front. Kind of scared to zoom in now. HRE have fallen back a little bit in shambles here, unfortunately. Things are looking bad. Absolutely bad for them. The cavalry is breaking. Infantry getting run down. The French are even going in for the bayonet constantly. It's a pretty small unit. 34 men are trying to break the HRE. More and more cavalry. Carabinieri is going to start. Ooh, a general down. And the HRE are putting up quite the fight, but I don't think it's going to matter too much at this point. I mean, I'm seeing some French wavering. This 31-man unit is still trying to give chase. I think they're about to break. We have some more cuirassiers. Oh, what a wicked volley. This is where France has got to be careful. That cuirassier breaks, no one going in. I think they're getting the point which they're like, this is it. It's all or nothing. They have to commit here. They can break this whole line. I think they'll win. They can win this one. Cavalry breaking through on the flank here. More infantry pushing forward here. These Carabiniers are exhausted. I don't know if they're actually going to break this line. They may need to pull them out, but they may break as soon as they do that. Now, on this side, the Rhine, I think, is standing and fighting. Some Dragoons trying to take on some heavy cav from the HRE, as well as... Is that a general? No. Some Hussars. Oh, wow. The cav break. Yeah, that fight's probably not going to go well for France Rhine. But I think France definitely has gotten the upper hand here. Things are looking up very well, actually, I think. They have a nice flank. They should be swinging these infantry around before they have someone facing them, in my opinion. They're going to have some crosshairs collapsing on the back. This line will break, and I think they will be set to face... I mean, man, more HRE over here on the left, even into the center. This is crazy. But here we go. They're going to collapse in. HRE are going to try engaging on the line where things are less amiable. But the HRE's line, you can see, is quite still put together here. France could definitely still lose this fight, especially if the Rhine takes damage. I mean, they're getting close to the borders of this map. And I think the HRE outnumber them, and they're so far away, there's no help really. I mean, they're actually splitting forces off here, but the HRE are going to try to intercept them. You gotta be kidding me. This horse artillery is still trying to do something. I think France actually... I don't know. I don't know. There's cavalry over here. Fresh cav. Another general down. I think that... Oh my gosh. Oh, that's definitely not the best thing. HRE are actually holding. This whole line collapsed, but oh man, they're just getting shot. This is what I'm talking about, guys. And late game, the coalition have a lot of very meaty units still. It's like some cavalry tried or infantry tried harassing and stopping the French. And over here, the Rhine, I mean, where's the Rhine gonna go? Where can they go? Infantry are getting charged by some cavalry. And the problem is the HRE are going to slowly be getting picked off. They have no cavalry to defend. They may actually hold this. This could be a huge game changer if they just break this cav unit. Yeah, there we go. And now cav in the back lines. Rhine need to maybe try standing and fight and let some cav get a charge off on the back. This last excuse me, this last line. France can do it. They got to get some cavalry in. If they charge 1, 2, if they have some heavy cav enough to go in. I think they have a cross the air here that's very tired. If they can rest him up, they could go for a nice charge here on the flank. They have infantry and cavalry pushing up on the rear as well. They can still do this. The actually pivotal point in the fight is probably going to be this, and this may realistically, guys, come down to LOC. There's 14 minutes remaining. LOCs are going to be crucial. I wouldn't be surprised if the battle is not yet decided until LOCs kick in, but it looks like the Rhine is going to make their stand here, and I think they're going to die unless they get help. They probably are going to die, but a brave stand nonetheless. Thing is, the HRE have to worry about attacks in the rear. All right, here we go. The distraction. Oh, crossiers. This could actually be a huge upset. Attacked in the rear. This could cause a massive morale waiver, and then push in the infantry immediately. 1 unit breaks. 1 unit's wavering. 2 units break. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. Crosshair's gonna break their wavering. Papa rally.
Our men are running first.
Oh my. 3 units, 3 units, 4. Is it going to be 4? Bayonet charge is going off. This could be the game changer of this battle here. A nice lance charge right here. Oh my gosh, yes! Well done by France. And they're going to run right off the map. They're not coming back. And Ryan just tipped the scales. I think France is going to win this one. That clutch, give that Crossier unit and that Lance unit medals. Send them home. They pulled in some clutch moves right there and saved that line, getting a nice back charge. They sure should have had 2 units facing them. I don't think it would have mattered too much, but all right, we got another Crossier unit inching up. They're winded, but send them in, you know. Let them have their fun. We got another charge over here. I don't know if I'm going to fast forward again if this crashes, guys. I think I'll just call it a win and just go over their end scale of results, which I'm sorry if that's upsetting to some people, but I can't, you know. The rest of the HRE are just going to start collapsing in here. I think we can guess the end of that. Now, there is another section of HRE, but over here, the collapse in of infantry and cavalry breaks it, and I think we're starting to see what happens, quantity over quality. But Ryan probably had the most, at least they had a good end to their long-winded fight, because that had to be mind-numbing, fighting that way. Just constantly running back. Yeah, like I said, if it crashes again, I'm sorry, guys. We'll just go over the results. Oh, look at this, fresh. Why are they charging? Why is this Crossier unit charging? They still have more units to deal with. Dare I fast forward? Dare I? I'm gonna fast forward here. I don't think there's a whole lot happening. I'm gonna zoom out here and we can just watch. If nothing changes, in fact, I may just skip to the end. I think it's a pretty obvious win here for the French now, after probably a lot of bloodshed. All right, guys, nothing really of too much importance happened at the end. A French victory here, and man, hard fought one. That's a long recording too. All the fast forwarding, it was like triple the time almost with the 2 crashes, but a good battle. I loved it. I love seeing the quantity over quality. It's probably hard on both sides. One, it's really hard with quantity because you have to micromanage so much. And then, of course, as quality versus not having enough men, it's easier to micromanage. But, man, you can lose a lot of men very quickly and have no army left. But you can see here the results are pulled up. We have on the French side, we have the Emperor with 4411 for the kills. Warcry with 1345. Lunit with 1849, and Terminus with 3526. On the other side, Julio with 1691, AG 1392, Corylus 399. I think he was the first army that got focused down and killed. And then you have John with 1139. So a very good battle. I love seeing it. I love these kind of open, full tilt battles. Everybody's always together. French won. And well played on both sides. So anyway, guys, that'll be it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.